Hello, I'm Joe DeRose. I'm a lifelong resident of Northwest Denver, and it's my privilege to take you on a short video tour of my neighborhood. The old, the new, the battered, the blue. So we are going to see the changes that have happened in this neighborhood. We're going to see some great old buildings, churches, parks, places to hang out, and what it all meant to me. So our first stop is going to be North High School, where it all started. North is the rock of the neighborhood. It is the high school that everybody feeds into. In my day, we had 3 major middle schools that fed into it. We called them junior highs. And North is where we solidified the community. It will always be that to me. We're at 2646 West 32nd Avenue. This is a block that's in change in North Denver. The Holiday Theater was a theater I used to go to back in the day. When I was 9 and 10 years old, we watched double features on Saturday morning. It became a church after a while, and then it fell into some disrepair. The Museum of Contemporary Art has picked up this building and now is a center for live performance, art, and musical theater and music of all kinds, and it represents the change and the rebirth, the renaissance of Northwest Denver right here on 32nd and Clay. We are at 2616 West 32nd Avenue at Taqueria Pátzcuaro, a restaurant that opened on West 32nd Avenue in 1978. The first taqueria in Denver. They serve traditional Mexican fare. They have been serving this continuously since 1978, family owned and the same family. We are at the corner of 32nd at Wyandotte, in front of the chapel of Our Merciful Savior. This church was built in 1890 and served English and Scottish immigrants at the time, and has been in continuous operation for these 130 years. It now has masses in Spanish and English. And we are on a block that speaks very much to the change of North Denver. We will see here new high-rises right next to houses that were built in the 1910s and this beautiful church. We are at the corner of 31st and Vallejo at Asbury Methodist Church. This congregation was formed in 1880. This building was built in 1890. Churches were very important in North Denver at the time. This again is another Scottish and English immigration. A lot of motormen lived in this part of North Denver as the cable cars were housed on 31st and Zuni, right up the street. We are at the corner of 33rd and Pecos at St. Patrick's Church, the old mission church. This congregation was founded in 1907. This church was built in 1907 and served an Irish American population. It is still serving Mass today. Now, follow me to the next church in Lower North Denver. All right, now we are at the corner of 36th and Navajo at Our Lady of Mount Carmel. This church was founded in 1907. It served and still serves the Italian community. Again, there is a Mass done here in Italian still, and that is the 10 o'clock Mass every Sunday. And we're now going to head off to Guadalupe, the third of the Trinity of Catholic churches in Lower North Denver. All right, we are at the corner of 36th and Calumet at Our Lady of Guadalupe, which is a beautiful church. And this church was built in 1947. This congregation serves the Hispanic American population and Hispanos, and it has masses in both English and Spanish. And now we're on to our next visit. We are at 4150 Navajo at Trevista at Horace Mann ECE 5 grade school, elementary school. This was built originally as a junior high school in the 1930s. The style is neo-Gothic. The architect was Temple Buell Jr. And a little side note, my junior high school. And now we're off to the next space. We are on Shoshone Street between 38th and 39th Avenue. We're at the Troy Chavis Peace Park. This park was dedicated in the memory of Troy, who died in the Summer of Violence. The park was donated by Leprino Foods, but has been maintained by community volunteers. It was the community garden of La Escuela Tlatelolco for many, many years, but the park is still viable and a great place to come and sit and contemplate life. And now we're off to another spot in North Denver. All right, we're at La Raza Park at 38th and Osage Street. And this park has a lot of historical meaning. This park was first dedicated by the Italian American community and given to the city. It was known then as Columbus Park. But as the world changes and demographics change, this park became a true symbol of the Chicano movement, and as such has finally been renamed La Raza Park, done by the current council person, Amanda Sandoval, who has taken into account all of the history and has welcomed all people into this park. So the park is beautiful and its history is worth knowing. Now we're off to our next spot. No video visit to North Denver would be complete without a stop at Carl's Pizzeria. We are at 38th and Newton Street at Carl's. Carl's is owned now by John Ludwig, who bought the business from Carl DiGiacomo back in the 80s, I believe. Great pizza, great place, great gathering place in North Denver, and one of the great gathering places in the world, in my opinion. All right, we're off. We're at Lake Junior High School, now known as Lake Middle School. Located across the street from Sloan's Lake in northwest Denver, we're at the corner of 19th and Meade. This building was built in the 20s, designed by Burnham Hoyt, a North grad. And the building is beautiful, the grounds are fabulous. On the front grounds, there is one of every native tree known in Colorado. And now we're going to move on to our next stop. I want to thank you all for joining me and sharing these memories of Northwest Denver. We're sitting at Sloan's Lake, and that lake, as many of you may know, was a lake that was a miracle. It was a farm, and old man Sloan, the story goes, was plowing his fields and the lake arose. So we are thrilled to be sitting here. We are in the Frances Melrose Garden, named in honor of her mother, Aline Melrose. And this is a flower garden of the first order here in North Denver. And so we are sitting, the old and the new, juxtaposed right before our eyes. I see the old St. Anthony's is gone. I see high-rises and new houses going up all around us. But that juxtaposition is the story of Northwest Denver. Thank you.